Hey, Leap Inspire family. Welcome back to the channel. It's your host, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. We're about to dive into a story that's going to grab your heart, shake it up, and leave you feeling ready to take on the world. This is the story of Cece Suarez, a young woman who faced more challenges than most of us could imagine, but she kept going, kept fighting, and found a life full of love, hope, and new beginnings. This is a story about taking leaps. Big, scary, life-changing leaps, even when you feel like you've got nothing left. So grab a drink, settle in, and let's get into it. This one's going to inspire you to chase your dreams, no matter how far away they seem. Ready? Let's leap. Picture this. You're 19 years old, and life has already knocked you down hard. That was Cece Suarez. She'd lost her parents when she was just a kid. Her mom disappeared when Cece was in grade school, leaving without a word, and her dad passed away from illness soon after. Cece was left with her aunt, who struggled with a gambling addiction. That addiction spiraled out of control, landing her aunt in prison, where she was tragically killed. Cece was alone, with no family to lean on. But it got worse. The loan sharks her aunt owed money to didn't care that Cece was just a teenager. They saw her as a way to settle the debt. They harassed her, threatened her, and one terrifying night, 5 men cornered her in an alley. They had knives, and they weren't there to talk. Cece knew some martial arts from her childhood friend's dad, but she was weak, starving, and scared. She fought as hard as she could, but it wasn't enough. Just when she thought it was over, a dog, a big, ferocious stray, charged in, barking and snapping, chasing the men away. Cece called it her guardian angel. Shaken and exhausted, she stumbled through the streets, desperate to escape. She saw a jeep parked nearby, climbed into the back, and passed out. When Cece opened her eyes, the bright sunlight nearly blinded her. She was curled up on the floor of the jeep, her knees scraped, her clothes torn. Voices startled her. "There's a woman back here," an older man said, shocked. A shrill female voice snapped. "Who is she?" "She's filthy. This could ruin our business." Cece's heart sank. She tried to explain, her voice weak. "Please help me," she pleaded. But the couple wasn't having it. "Get out!" the woman barked. "You smell disgusting." They dragged her out, and Cece nearly collapsed onto the pavement. "She might be crazy," the woman muttered. "Too pretty to be crazy," the man said under his breath, earning a glare from his wife. Cece stood there, watching the jeep drive off, her body aching, her mind racing. She looked at herself. Muddy legs, tangled hair, a torn shirt, and pajama shorts that had been tugged during the attack. She didn't feel like herself. She felt like a ghost of the girl she used to be. Cece looked around and saw a sign, Maria Rosa Village, St. Quentin. Her eyes widened. St. Quentin? That was miles from her hometown, San Rafael. How had she ended up here? The neighborhood was quiet, with neat lawns and big houses, nothing like the chaos she'd left behind. Barefoot, her feet burning on the hot pavement, she started walking. Her stomach growled so loudly it hurt. She hadn't eaten since the morning before. As she wandered, a faint smell of food hit her nose, something savory, like a sauté. It led her to a one-story house with an open gate. On a table outside was a bowl of what looked like cereal. Cece hesitated. "You can't just take it," she whispered to herself. But her hunger won. She rushed to the table, checked to make sure no one was watching, and shoveled the food into her mouth. It tasted awful, but she was too hungry to care. Then a dog barked, a beautiful white dog with thick fur, tied up near the house. Cece froze. "I'm sorry, doggy," she said nervously. "I didn't mean to steal your food." Why did you eat my dog's food? A deep voice asked. Cece's heart stopped. She turned to see a man, tall, broad-shouldered, with thick eyebrows and deep brown eyes. Levi, a veterinarian, stood there, looking more curious than angry. Cece's face burned with shame. Dog food? She groaned to herself. I ate dog food? Mortified, she couldn't face him. Panicking, she thought, maybe I'll pretend to faint. As Levi stepped closer, she let herself fall, but she hit her head on the table's edge. The fake faint turned real, and everything went black. Cece woke to a white ceiling and a throbbing pain in her head. She was on a couch, inside a clean, beautiful house. Levi leaned over her, his face close. Are you nauseous? Dizzy? He asked, his voice gentle. Cece mumbled an apology, still humiliated about the dog food. Levi didn't laugh or judge. Instead, he helped her sit up and led her to the kitchen. He set a plate of buttered shrimp and sour tamarind fish stew in front of her. Cece's mouth watered. She ate quickly, forgetting her shame for a moment. Levi watched, amused, handing her a glass of water when she nearly choked. Slow down, he said with a small smile. After the meal, he gave her a yellow summer dress, new underwear, and pointed her to the bathroom. Cece caught her reflection in the mirror. She looked like a mess, her hair wild, her face smudged with dirt. But when she stepped out, clean and dressed, Levi's eyes widened. For the first time, Cece felt like someone saw her, not as a runaway, but as a person worth noticing. The front door opened, and in walked Aunt Lillian, Levi's mother. She was short, chubby, and full of warmth. Oh, a guest! Who are you, sweetheart? My, you're beautiful, she exclaimed. Cece gave a shy smile, unsure how to explain that she'd eaten their dog's food and passed out in their yard. She gave a fake name, Yura, scared her aunt's creditors might track her down. When Aunt Lillian asked about her story, Cece hesitated but opened up. She told them about her parents' death, her aunt's imprisonment, the loan sharks, and the terrifying assault. Tears fell as she spoke. Aunt Lillian's eyes softened. She cupped Cece's face. You're staying with us, she said. You'll work at my convenience store, and we'll keep you safe. Levi frowned, cautious about trusting a stranger, but Aunt Lillian's mind was made up. Cece had a place to stay, a job, and a chance to start over. Life in St. Quentin was like stepping into a new world. The village was peaceful, with green trees and friendly faces. Cece worked at Aunt Lillian's store, a small 7-Eleven style shop, ringing up customers and stocking shelves. She started to feel at home, greeting regulars like Mr. Rudy and Miss Susan with coffee and smiles. Her confidence grew, and so did her reputation. One day, 2 local boys, Raymond and Greg, tried to steal from the store, paying with fake money. Cece confronted them, and when they attacked her with a liquor bottle, she fought back, using her martial arts skills to send them running. The incident caught attention, and soon, high school kids were asking her to teach them self-defense. Cece laughed it off but felt proud. She was making a mark. Not everyone was easy to handle, though. Carding, a criminology student, started showing up daily, calling her princess and leaving flowers. Did you dream about me? He'd tease, flashing a grin. Cece found him funny but kept him at a distance. Meanwhile, her connection with Levi was growing. He was quiet, sometimes stern, but his actions spoke louder than words. He'd drop by the store with snacks, walk her home, or fix things around the house. One day, he saw Carding kiss Cece's hand and snapped. What's with you and that guy? He asked, his voice sharp. Cece blinked, surprised. He's just a friend, she said. Levi's jealousy was obvious, and it stirred something in Cece. She realized he cared more than he let on. Things got messy when a woman walked into the store, sunglasses on, heels clicking. "I'm Levi's fiancé," she said coldly. Cece's heart dropped. The woman called her a housemaid, dismissing her as insignificant. "He's not yours," she sneered before leaving. Cece didn't tell Levi, but the words cut deep. When Levi found out, he was livid. He confronted his ex, making it clear their arranged engagement was over. "I love Cece," he said firmly. Back at the store, he pulled Cece into a hug. "You're not alone," he whispered. "I've got you." Cece's fears started to fade. She wasn't just a guest in his world. She was becoming a part of it. Weeks passed, and Cece settled into her new life. She and Levi grew closer, sharing quiet moments, late-night talks, walks by the lake, and stolen glances. One night, at the village's street dance festival, Levi took her to a hill overlooking St. Quentin. The stars were bright, the air cool. He handed her a note. "Will you be my girlfriend?" Cece laughed, tears in her eyes. "Yes," she said, and they shared a soft kiss. Aunt Lillian was thrilled, teasing them like they were already family. The village, once wary of Cece, embraced her. She wasn't the runaway anymore. She was one of them. But Cece's past still lingered. She worried the loan sharks might find her, and the memory of her hardships weighed heavy. Levi sensed it. One evening, at a lakeside restaurant, he pulled out a velvet box. "I want to be the man you come home to," he said, sliding a silver ring onto her finger. Cece's heart raced. "Yes," she whispered, tears falling. Their wedding was simple but beautiful, held in a small chapel decorated with white flowers. Aunt Lillian cried, the villagers cheered, and Cece, in a white dress with pearls in her hair, felt like she was living a miracle. Levi's vows were steady. "You changed my life, Cece. I promise to love you, protect you, and walk beside you forever." Cece's voice shook as she replied, "You saw me when I felt invisible. I promise to love you and never take this life for granted." A year later, Cece gave birth to their daughter, Era, meaning shining light. Era had Levi's brown eyes and Cece's gentle smile. Their days were filled with small joys, Levi bringing home toys for Era, Cece teaching her to clap, and Aunt Lillian knitting tiny hats. One rainy afternoon, Cece sat by the window, her hand on her stomach, smiling. She was pregnant again. When she told Levi, he lifted her off the ground, spinning her as they laughed. The village buzzed with excitement, bringing baby books and fruit baskets. Cece's life had transformed, from eating dog food in desperation to building a family with a man who loved her fiercely. So, Leap Inspire fam, what's the takeaway? Cece's story shows us that life can be brutal, but it's never the end. She was alone, scared, and broken, but she took a leap, climbing into that Jeep, eating that dog food, trusting Levi and Aunt Lillian. Every step was scary, but it led her to a life she never dreamed of. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take that first step, even if it's messy, even if it's small. Maybe you're facing your own loan sharks, fear, doubt, or failure. Don't let them stop you. There's a St. Quentin waiting for you, a place where you can start over, find love, and build something beautiful. What's your leap? Is it starting that business you've been dreaming about? Going back to school? Or maybe just forgiving yourself for past mistakes? Whatever it is, don't wait for the perfect moment. Cece didn't. She leapt, and it changed everything. So tell me in the comments, what's one leap you're ready to take? I want to hear your stories. They inspire me, and I know they'll inspire this community too. If this story moved you, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs a push, and subscribe to Leap Inspire for more stories that light a fire in your soul. Thanks for being here, you amazing people. Keep leaping, keep inspiring, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.